Hi, Charles Cherney, and in this video, I wanted to share the three concierge elevator buildings in Harvard Square. So we begin at 975 Memorial Drive, residences at Charles Square, and this association is part and parcel of the complex that otherwise includes the Charles Hotel. So if you arrive at the Charles Hotel and take the escalator or set of stairs up to the courtyard known as Charles Square, through that courtyard is the residences at Charles Square, 70 plus units in 6 brick towers that went up in 1985. The units feature garage parking, in-unit laundry, and views onto JFK Park out front and beyond it to the Charles River, with some of the units on higher floors enjoying Boston skyline views. So I have a link in the description beneath the video to this page we're looking at where you can learn more about the building and see recent listings. So there's a couple units for sale. At the time I make this recording, a 2-bed, 3-bath for just under $8 million and a 4-bed, 4-bath just over $10 million. So the price points clearly can go quite high as those active listings underline. And you can see some recent sales here in the association. A 3-bed, 2-bath for 3.4, and a 2-bed, 2-bath for 2,350, another 2-bed, 2-bath for 3.2. So it's just going to depend on the condition of the offering at the point it's offered and purchased as to what the sale price range will be. But, clearly it is a more expensive building, very well maintained, very pleasant to be in and to look out onto JFK Park and the river. And so that's your first option for a concierge elevator building in Harvard Square. It's expensive. Next is University Green, located at 130 Mount Auburn Street. So no views of the Charles River from this address. And it's located, the building, set back from Mount Auburn Street behind a common landscaped courtyard. It's a smaller building with 50 plus units with, again, in-unit laundry, garage parking. At this address, dogs are not allowed, so indoor cats only, just as an FYI, if you're a dog owner, this is not your building. There are fireplaces in some units, and I was in the building in the last few days to show the 3-bed, 3-bath unit that's for sale, listed at the time of this recording for $2.8, and that is a unit with a fireplace and a higher ceiling. It's really quite a lovely living room that defines this address. And, there's also a 1-bed we see here for sale for just under 1.6 at the time of this recording. And then we see some recent 2-bed sales, 1.5, 1.690, 4-bed sale for $5 million. So you could imagine that maybe you're going to find a 2-bed between $1 and $2 million, depending on the condition. The 3-bed plus category, it's going to depend on the condition and the square footage, but we can see it's going to be north of 3. And the one that's is on a 2.8. You could argue that that's really a 2-bed. Just sort of depends how you consider the space. But be that as it may, again, this is a more expensive proposition, just as 975 Memorial Drive is. It's just a reality of being in a concierge elevator building in Harvard Square. Again, there's a link below to this page where you can study the active, pending, and recently sold listings. And I have a video as well with more information on this address. Last but not least is 221 Mount Auburn Street. We see here a picture of it on the Charles River. It's a bit further down Mount Auburn, so it's a short walk from this address back into the heart of Harvard Square. And this building dates from the 1960s. It has 80 units. Units, for the most part, are looking out onto the river with floor-to-ceiling windows and Boston skyline views from higher floors. There is off-street parking, mostly in an uncovered parking area. Nothing at the time of this recording is now for sale. We're looking here at some recent sales in the building. A 2-bed, 2-bath sold for $1.7, a 3-bed, 3-bath for $3,375,000. It's rare that anything sells for under $1 million in this building. As we look here at the screen, here's a 2-bed, 1-bath on the backside, no Riverview, that sold for $825. And so that's a rare offering in the building at that price point. You're going to expect to pay for a view unit north of $1 million, and for a 2-bed probably closer to $2 million, and for a 3-bed or larger north of $2 million. The most recent 3-bed sale was $3,375,000. It's interesting, not all the units have in-unit laundry. And as far as I know, if you don't have in-unit laundry, you're not going to be granted permission to add it. You're going to depend on the laundry room. So something to consider if something pops up at this address, to discover if it has in-unit laundry, because if that's important to you, just a handful of the listings in the building do in fact have in-unit laundry. So again, whether it's 221 Mount Auburn Street or 130 Mount Auburn, otherwise known as University Green, or it's 975 Memorial Drive, the residences at Charles Square, these three buildings are more expensive, and over time they have appreciated, and the price points to enter into these associations has gotten higher and higher, as there is, as one might expect, a demand for a concierge elevator building in this Harvard Square location. So with just three buildings to choose from that are in this category, the Cambridge Concierge Elevator Condo Building in Harvard Square, you do pay a premium to enter into any of these associations. As a top agent over the last 25 years, I have knowledge and experience of these buildings and have listed and sold in all three of them. And I welcome the opportunity to connect with you if you're aiming to make your way into one of these three addresses. Reach out by text, telephone, or email if myself and my business partner can be of assistance to you as you consider these addresses. Be in touch.